Well, good morning, YouTube. We've got Adam and Josh with me, and we're going to talk about
losing money.
Our first loss.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
So we're at the Howard, and you can see our Ferrari California over there, which just sold on Cars and Bids for $132,000.
$132,500.
$132,500. This was the 381 mile California. So basically exactly as it came from the factory from Ferrari. And we thought maybe it would probably get like 150-ish, plus or minus a little bit. And we were wrong.
We guessed wrong.
I guess we should give a quick story on the car and how we got here and why it lost money and why that doesn't really bother us.
So, bothers me.
I mean, it bothers us, but it's part of
business.
It's growing. I mean, it's not even growing pains. You're going to lose money here, and there's no way around it. It's just part of it.
First off, I guess it was almost 4 months ago now, I think. 3 or 4 months ago.
It was in March.
Wow.
They reached out to us.
It was March?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so it was, quite a few months ago. I know, right? Like doing math.
The guy reached out to us and said, hey, I have this 2010 California. My dad just passed away.
No, it was, so the guy reaches out to us and says, hey, I'm the executor of this estate of a friend of my family who passed away. He's like, I live in Arizona, the guy lives in Chicago or something like that. Would you guys be interested in this car? And we said, sure. Started talking, and he told us about how it's only got 381 miles on it. We're like, holy crap, this thing's a time capsule. He threw out the first number, I think it was 150,000.
It was 150.
And we said, nope, that's just too much. Keep in mind, at that point in time, that car probably would have sold for, I'm guessing, a little bit over that.
Honestly, at the time, 150, I was like, okay, that's probably about what we could get for it. Maybe we could make a little. I mean, it was tempting even back then, when the market was really hot. But we were kind of like, not enough margin for a $150,000 investment.
Yeah, too much risk for us to buy a car, ship it. We kind of said, no, we'll pass for now. About a month or so goes by, they hit us up again. We still were kind of wishy-washy on it. And then actually about another month goes by, and I get a phone call from what I thought was the guy, and unfortunately enough, the gentleman who we had been talking to, he passed away as well. So now his father was the executor of this estate that had possession of the Ferrari. So not even joking, that was like horrible, and I felt so bad because the father's now talking to me about trying to sell this car that his now deceased son was trying to help sell for their deceased friend of the family. It's just,
it
was just like, oh my God, like we felt terrible.
But I will say, these are the kind of deals that we like because nobody wants to deal with all this stuff, right? Nobody wants to dig through all the BS and try to see if there's money to be made. It's just like, most people are scared. And I was like, let's do this. Let's figure this out because there could be some money here.
I think they started feeling a pressure to get rid of the car, so they were willing to move on the price pretty substantially. We agreed on $134,000.
I offered them 120, and he came back and said, no, how about 140? And a week went by, and then it got to 135, and I offered 125, and it was like back and forth for probably a month or two.
Yeah, it was
finally we agreed on, okay, it's going to be 134.
Yep, we got the car for 134. We get it here. We knew it had sticky buttons and the old tires and stuff, and we didn't want to touch it because we didn't know if it was going to be collector worthy or not.
That was a decision we made, was to specifically not mess with any of that stuff, and especially the tires.
I think that's one of those things where we had to take a gamble of, will the market appreciate this as a collector's piece, or is someone going to buy this as a driver's car? And we were hoping that someone who was going to be a collector wanted it, because if they did, then this was perfect. If it was someone who wanted to drive it, then they're not going to care about that. In fact, they're probably going to ding us for that. And I think that's unfortunately what happened.
And thankfully, when we got the car, it was just as nice as we had hoped it would be. There wasn't any surprises or anything.
Yeah, the paint was paint's probably the best condition Ferrari paint I've seen for a 20-year-old car or 10-year-old car.
I've never seen an engine that clean.
Yeah, the engine bay is immaculate. And the interior was perfect. We just didn't want to touch it. We just
still smells new.
Yeah, we actually during the auction lowered the reserve to meet the current price and just sell it.
There was like 5 minutes left, and it was right on the cusp. I think the bidding was at 131 or 132 or something like that. I sent them a message. I was like, should I drop the reserve?
Yeah.
Like, yep. All right. I dropped the reserve, so it was selling. And we were hoping it was going to keep going.
Yeah, obviously we wanted to sell for more than we paid for it, but why was it that we were willing to take a loss on this car? So first of all, it's basically a $1,500 loss plus some other fees we had. So we'll say probably $2,500
Probably
loss.
$2,500 all in.
Is about our total loss. So why is it that we were willing to just accept that? Well, the opportunity cost of keeping $135,000 of our money tied up in that car was huge. So we just said, you know what, we just need to get rid of that car because there's other cars that we can buy in that same price point that are going to make much more money. And we kind of knew that the market shifted during the entire negotiation of buying that car. So now we're holding on to a car that, you know, the reality is people don't want Californias that much. They're just not as desirable as a 360 or 430, for example.
Doug DeMiro might argue with you on that.
I mean, they don't sell. They
don't
don't sell as easily. From a dealership perspective, it is a harder car to sell. We probably could have let the auction expire with not meeting a reserve and then tried to sell it outright for 100 and let's say 40. But then maybe it was going to take a month or two or three.
The interesting thing too is we started to tell people, here's what it sold for, and of course they come out of the woodwork and say, "Oh, well, I would have paid more than
Right.
that. I would have paid more than that."
Of course you
Like,
would.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah, the number of people on the comments that were
Yeah.
like, "You got a screaming deal," and man.
Well, as we've discussed, people in the comments on those auction sites aren't actually buyers anymore.
No.
Yeah, most of them are trolls.
Most of them are just trolls.
Yeah.
When you're running a business, you sometimes have to look at it from just a very non-emotional perspective. All right, we can continue to hope and pray that we're going to get more money for this car and not take a loss. But let's say it takes 2 months and we make $2-3 on the car. Well, that same amount of time, that money could turn over 1, 2, or even 3 cars at $5,000 or $10,000 a car. So you've now lost the opportunity to make potentially $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 versus just eat the loss. Okay, we chalk it up, write that down on our books, and learn some lessons and move on, and then move forward with trying to make more money.
I will say too, in this business, especially with what we're doing, because we're car enthusiasts and we love these cars, you get emotional about the cars themselves. And
Yes.
you get attached to them in a way sometimes. Sometimes you'll say, hell no, I'm not selling that car for that. Like, I like this car too much. Well, no, you have to erase that out of your mind.
Yep.
And that goes for anything, any small business that you're doing. If you're really into it and you're like, no, can't lose money. I'm like, yeah, occasionally you have to, and just move on.
Even more than that, in business, you have to learn to swallow your pride sometimes and just accept things for what they are. We actually had I'm not going to say specific numbers about this particular deal, but we had a car that we were trying to sell, and the deal was super complicated and extraordinarily frustrating, very painful, lots of legwork from us, and all 3 of us were just getting fed up and pissed off. And finally, the deal was ready for us to go, but we did not like it because they, at the last second, changed the numbers on us, which really pissed us off. So all 3 of us were like,
At that point, we're like, screw this guy.
Screw this guy.
Not happening.
So then all of us are mad, and I just said, hold on a second. We'd still be making X amount of money. If we took everything away and someone came to the table and said, hey, I'm going to hand you X tens of thousands of dollars to make this deal happen, would you take it? And all 3 of us go, I guess. So we said, all right, just pride aside. We got to swallow our pride and make the deal happen.
Still, that guy.
Don't be a shitty buyer, please. Just go with the flow.
Or seller.
Yeah, to be fair, like that deal could have been so much better and all of us would feel good about it. But instead, we made money, but we didn't feel good about it. But at least we
I
made
felt
money.
good about making the money.
Right.
Well, I felt good about getting rid of the car.
That too. Yeah. Sometimes in business, be ready to swallow your pride. Make hard decisions. In any business you're in, at some point, you're going to have to make a very difficult financial decision that you have to separate your emotions from and just look at, what's the best thing for the business, what's the best thing to move forward, and that was the decision for that car. It was, hey, it's gonna hurt, we gotta take it.
And that's the first one, but it definitely won't be the last.
Nope.
There'll be more, no doubt. And I can say I'm excited that that car, the person who bought that car, is actually going to drive it. She's going to put new tires on it and get the oil changed, and she said she's going to start putting miles on it.
Good.
So, I'm excited
Congratulations
about
to
that.
her,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, she just got an incredible car for an
That's
incredible
awesome.
price. Yeah.
Cars are meant to be driven.
Yep.
That's foreshadowing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Stay tuned. So on that note, actually, like, share, and subscribe, please. We do appreciate it when you guys can help us out, and of course, you can buy parts and services for all sorts of cars like these through our website, normalguysupercar.com. Adam's been putting new shit on the website.
If there's something that's not on there that you want, if you have a Porsche that you need an exhaust for, or just anything, whatever it is, just email us and we'll see if we can get it. And if we can, we'll put it on the website and we'll give you the discount and everything.
Yep. Sales at normalguysupercar.com for parts. Sales at ngsupercars.com for cars. Two different things.
Yeah.
Even though it comes to us, just
If you
keep us organized.
If you mix them up, we'll help you, but we'll ridicule you.
Yes. That's it for this video. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to be doing a lot of cool car stuff. You're going to want to stay tuned.
It'll be sweet.
Yeah.